Dear listeners, welcome to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, uncovering the hidden treasures of our collective past. Today we find ourselves in the midst of a pivotal moment in American history as we delve into the fascinating tale of the Battle of Trenton. This pivotal event, which took place on December 26, 1776, was a masterstroke of strategic brilliance, showcasing the cunning and determination of General George Washington and his Continental Army. As we set the stage for this epic battle, let us first transport ourselves to the winter of 1776, a time of great uncertainty and turmoil. The American Revolutionary War had been raging for over a year, with the Continental Army facing numerous setbacks and challenges. The British Army, under the command of General William Howe and his brother Admiral Richard Howe, had successfully occupied New York City, forcing Washington's troops to retreat to Pennsylvania. The harsh winter weather, with its biting cold and snow-covered landscapes, added to the difficulties faced by the Continental Army. Our story begins in the quaint town of Trenton, New Jersey, situated on the banks of the Delaware River. This charming colonial town, with its rich history dating back to 1679, was a strategic location that controlled access to the river and the surrounding countryside. On November 25, 1776, Hessian forces, led by Colonel Johann Rall, arrived in Trenton, occupying the town and establishing a defensive perimeter. The Hessians, numbering around 1,200 men, were part of a larger force of German mercenaries hired by the British to fight against the Americans. As we delve deeper into the events leading up to the battle, we find that Washington's plan was not formed in isolation. He was influenced by the counsel of his trusted advisors, including General Henry Knox, General Nathaniel Greene, and General John Sullivan Dick. These experienced military leaders provided valuable insights and strategic guidance, which helped shape Washington's plan of attack. Additionally, Washington's decision to launch a surprise attack on Trenton was also motivated by the need to boost morale among his troops, who had suffered a series of setbacks in the preceding months. The Continental Army's preparations for the battle were meticulous and thorough. Washington's forces, numbering around 2,400 men, were divided into two main groups, one led by General Sullivan and the other by General Greene. The plan was to launch a simultaneous attack on the Hessian positions from both the north and south, with the aim of catching the enemy off guard and quickly overwhelming them. The troops were briefed on their roles and responsibilities, and the chain of command was clearly established. As we examine the historical context of the battle, it becomes clear that the events leading up to the Battle of Trenton were shaped by a complex web of political, military, and social factors. The British occupation of New York City had created a sense of urgency among the American colonists, who saw the need for a decisive victory to boost morale and demonstrate their ability to resist British rule. The arrival of the Hessian forces in Trenton added a new layer of complexity to the situation, as Washington and his advisors sought to find a way to counter this powerful enemy. As we conclude our examination of the earliest history of the Battle of Trenton, we find ourselves poised on the threshold of a dramatic and pivotal moment in American history. The stage is set, the players are in position, and the fate of the Continental Army hangs precariously in the balance. Join me as we explore the primary events of the Battle of Trenton, where the bravery and determination of the Continental Army would be tested in the face of overwhelming odds. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the annals of time, uncovering the hidden treasures of our collective past. As we delve into the heart of the battle, which took place on December 26, 1776, we find ourselves in the midst of a masterfully executed plan. Washington's bold strategy was to launch a surprise attack on the Hessian forces occupying Trenton, New Jersey, with the aim of catching them off guard and quickly overwhelming them. The Continental Army's preparations for the battle were meticulous and thorough, with every detail carefully considered. The night of December 25, 1776, was a bitterly cold one, with snow-covered landscapes and icy rivers. Washington's forces, numbering around 2,400 men, began their journey across the Delaware River, braving the treacherous waters in small boats. The troops were divided into two main groups, one led by General John Sullivan and the other by General Nathaniel Greene. As they made their way to Trenton, they marched through the snow-covered countryside, their footsteps quiet on the frozen ground. The Hessians, numbering around 1,200 men, were largely unaware of the impending attack. They had grown complacent in their occupation of Trenton, and their defensive perimeter was not as strong as it could have been. Washington's plan was to exploit this weakness, using his knowledge of the terrain to launch a surprise attack from both the north and south. As the Continental Army approached Trenton, they formed into two columns, with General Sullivan's troops advancing on the town from the north and General Greene's troops approaching from the south. The Hessians, realizing too late that they were under attack, scrambled to respond. However, Washington's plan had been executed perfectly, and the Continental Army quickly gained the upper hand. The battle was fierce but brief, lasting only a few hours. The Hessians fought bravely, but they were vastly outnumbered and outmaneuvered by the Continental Army. By 9:00 a.m. on December 26, 1776, the battle was all but over, with the Hessians surrendering in large numbers. The victory at Trenton was a significant turning point in the American Revolutionary War. It boosted morale among the Continental Army and demonstrated that Washington's forces were capable of defeating a well-trained and well-equipped enemy. The battle also marked a shift in momentum, as the Continental Army began to gain the upper hand against the British and their allies. As we reflect on this pivotal moment in American history, we are struck by the bravery and determination of the Continental Army. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, they fought with courage and conviction, inspired by the leadership of General George Washington. The Battle of Trenton was a testament to the power of strategic planning and bold action, and it paved the way for the ultimate victory of the American colonies over their British oppressors. The Continental Army has emerged victorious, but the war is far from over. Join me next time as we uncover the fascinating story of how the Battle of Trenton shaped the future of the United States. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we conclude our journey through the annals of time, uncovering the hidden treasures of our collective past. As we delve into the decline or aftermath of the Battle of Trenton, we find ourselves in the midst of a new era in American history. The Continental Army's victory on December 26, 1776, had boosted morale and demonstrated their capability to defeat a well-trained and well-equipped enemy. However, the war was far from over, and Washington's forces faced numerous challenges in the months and years that followed. One of the most significant consequences of the Battle of Trenton was the impact it had on the British military strategy. The British commander, General William Howe, was forced to re-evaluate his plans for conquering the American colonies, and he began to focus more on securing key cities and strategic locations rather than engaging in direct battles with the Continental Army. The Battle of Trenton also marked a turning point in the relationship between the American colonies and their European allies. The French, who had been watching the war from the sidelines, were impressed by Washington's victory and began to provide more significant support to the American cause. This included financial aid, military supplies, and even troops, which would play a crucial role in the ultimate defeat of the British. In the years following the Battle of Trenton, Washington's forces continued to face numerous challenges, including harsh weather conditions, limited resources, and constant pressure from the British Army. However, they persevered, using their knowledge of the terrain and their strategic planning to outmaneuver their enemies and secure key victories. The legacy of the Battle of Trenton can be seen in the many monuments and memorials that commemorate the event. The Old Barracks Museum in Trenton, New Jersey, is one such example, featuring exhibits and artifacts that tell the story of the battle and its significance in American history. The battle is also remembered through annual reenactments, which bring to life the bravery and determination of the Continental Army. As we reflect on the decline or aftermath of the Battle of Trenton, we are reminded of the power of strategic planning, bold action, and perseverance. Washington's victory on December 26, 1776, was a testament to the strength and resilience of the American people, and it paved the way for the ultimate victory of the American colonies over their British oppressors. In the words of General George Washington himself, the fate of the Continental Army and the success of our cause depended on the outcome of this battle. The Battle of Trenton was a defining moment in American history, one that would shape the course of the war and the future of the United States. As we conclude our journey through the annals of time, we are left with a deeper understanding of the significance of this pivotal event and its lasting impact on our collective past. The bravery and determination of the Continental Army at the Battle of Trenton continue to inspire us today, serving as a reminder of the power of courage and conviction in the face of overwhelming odds. As we look to the future, we would do well to remember the lessons of the Battle of Trenton and to draw inspiration from the men and women who fought so valiantly for our freedom and independence. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.